Hey, Canucks fans. The Canucks were back at practice today, wearing their black flying skate gear, no less, and they have apparent interest in Rangers forward Alexi Lafreniere. I'm Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, January the 2nd. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. We'll get to all that news in a second. First and foremost, tonight, two shows. Parker and me, Canucks After Dark, 7:30 p.m. Parker has a hockey game later tonight, so I think we're going 7:30, either that or 7. Regardless, I'll let you know here on YouTube. I'll let you know here on Twitter. Hope you can join Parker and me for Canucks After Dark. And then my own show, CCC, starting at 11 p.m. sharp tonight. Hope you can join me for both of the shows, actually. Now, we'll get to the Lafreniere talk in a second. First and foremost, the Canucks practice today. Rogers Arena, their first practice of the new year, wearing their black flying skate gear in terms of their helmets and their gloves, and the goalies wearing the goalie pads. Makes sense that they wear these tomorrow night. It's 90s night against the Islanders at home. And of course, they wore this jersey during the 90s. So that would make sense. And then Brendan Batchelor didn't confirm or deny it, but he did say that they're going to be auctioning off all this flying skate gear during their annual Dice and Ice fundraiser later this spring. So both could be true. You can auction these off after you wear them in a game tomorrow or even in a few games. So let's see if they're wearing their black flying skate jerseys when they host the Islanders tomorrow night. It's my favorite jersey. I think they play well in them, but more importantly than what they're wearing, it's how well and how structured they play. And to do that, they've completely changed all four lines. They've gone back to a look that's more similar to what they were doing during the win streak. Now, on Saturday night, New Year's Eve, when they lost, they had Horvat between Miller and Lazar, Pettersson between Mikheyev and Hsmfangirl, Dries, Besser, and Garland, and then Studnicka, Joshua, and Lockwood. Remember, Niels Amon had been sent down, Lockwood had been called up, and Lane Peterson was the scratch on Saturday night. Well, in today's practice, they went back to lines that were similar to when the Canucks were on their 3-game win streak. Horvat between Mikheyev and Besser, the PPK line, Pettersson, Peterson, Hsmfangirl, Miller, Garland, and Dries, and then a fourth line with Studnicka and Lazar rotating in the middle, and then Joshua and Lockwood. So we'll see if that's how they line up tomorrow against the New York Islanders. Same four pairings on D. Oyel, Myers, Hughes with Bear, Dermott and Shen, and then Stillman and Burrows on the fourth pairing. And you guys know I like Dermott much more than I like Stillman, and I do like Dermott more than Burrows. So Dermott's only played a couple games. Let's see if he continues to sharpen his game as he gets acclimated to this team. So we'll preview the Canucks game tomorrow, but that's how they practiced today. The bigger story off the ice today was Rick Dhaliwal coming in hot this morning on Twitter, saying that the Canucks have expressed interest in Alexi Lafreniere. And I'll read the whole thing. It's only 7 lines. It's pretty quick. Canucks interest in Alexi Lafreniere. The Canucks know this player inside and out. Lafreniere's old agent is current Canucks assistant GM Emily Castonguay. The Canucks have checked in on Lafreniere. He was made a healthy scratch last week by the Rangers. The Rangers are very aware of the Vancouver interest in Lafreniere. I'm correcting Dhaliwal's grammar as I speak here. Lafreniere will not be cheap, but the Canucks have the assets like Bo Horvat to pull this off if the Rangers decide to move him. Lafreniere is the type of player the new regime in Vancouver is looking for. Before he was traded to Montreal, the Canucks were also one of the teams after Blackhawks forward Kirby Dach. Lafreniere, Dach are the type of young players that the Canucks are looking for. So there we go. That's from Rick Dhaliwal earlier this morning. And when he talks about the Canucks are looking for a certain type of player, they've said, Rutherford and Alvin have said they're looking for 24, 25-year-old players. So players that are not yet hitting their peak or at least getting into their peak and who are still young, good, mobile, smart players. And Lafreniere would fit in that. Obviously, he's probably only 21 or 22 years old. And then I think Kirby Dach would fit in that because Lafreniere's only 21. I'm sure Dach's only 22 or 23. Now, the Canucks and the Rangers have been... I guess the other thing from there is, Lafreniere was a healthy scratch last week, and his agent before she came assistant GM was indeed Emily Castonguay. Now, the Canucks and Rangers have been linked before. We know that there was some talk or some rumor talk between the two clubs when it came to JT Miller at the end of last season, and those talks included what turns out to be, and this was reported by Sat Shaw and hasn't really been disputed by anyone, that the Rangers' offer was essentially Niels Lundqvist, a right shot defenseman, a first-round pick, and center Filip Chytil. Now, there's thought that the Canucks at the time last summer thought that wasn't enough for JT Miller. I think we'd all agree we would have taken that deal now in hindsight. But yes, they were likely after another right shot defenseman in Braden Schneider, and that was a no-fly zone from the Rangers. So very quickly, Nils Lundkvist has subsequently actually been traded to the Dallas Stars. He went to the Dallas Stars in a trade in September of last year, September 2022, and he was traded by Dallas by the Rangers for a conditional first-round pick and in 2023 and a conditional fourth-round pick in 2025. I don't know what those conditions are, but the point is Lundkvist did indeed, I guess, was looking for a change in scenery because he was shipped to Dallas. And so far this year, not bad, 11 points in 35 games. He's actually the third leading scorer on the Canucks blue line behind Hughes, of course, and Ekman Larsson. First-round pick is always nice. The Rangers are playing well this year, so it's not like it'd be a high pick, but it would be a first-rounder. And Filip Chytil, 23-year-old center, he's putting together a nice season. He has 17 points in 30 games, although he's scoreless in his last 5. But a good size, 6'2", 204. Wouldn't he look good on the Canucks right now? So that's what the Canucks potentially had on the table. At least they were able to. That's what the Rangers had on the table, but the Canucks ended up rejecting it last summer. Now let's look at Alexi Lafreniere. He was the first overall pick in the 2020 draft, so just 2.5 short years ago. 6'1", 195, so decent size, not massive, but decent size for sure. 21 years old, like I said, and this year, not bad, 17 points in 37 games, so just under a point every 2 games. So that's 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points in 37 games, but has been a healthy scratch just once. Now, I don't know enough about the Rangers to know if he's fallen out of favor with the coach. I don't think so. If you're getting 17 points in 37 games as a third-year player, I think that's pretty good. But maybe they're looking for a change of chemistry. Maybe I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything to say that he's looking for a change in scenery. But the fact that he was scratched, the fact that the Canucks have expressed interest, it'll be very interesting to see where he goes. Lafreniere had 21 points in 56 games in his rookie season. Then last season had 31 points in 79 games. And then this year, like I said, 17 and 37. So his points per game is going up steadily. And would he be the type of player the Canucks like? Of course, he's a winger. He's not a center. But he's right in that. He's a young player, obviously in his final year of his entry-level deal. And then we will see what happens from there. If the Canucks trade for him, they'll obviously need to negotiate his next contract with him. This really interests me. The Canucks, as we know, haven't had a first-round draft pick, well, forever. The closest was when they had drafted the Sedins in '99 in spots 2 and 3. So they haven't had a first-round draft pick, and I'm certainly. It's kind of surprising to me if the Rangers are indeed giving up on him or willing to. Now, they might be in win-now mode, so maybe they want a player like, I'm not saying it's going to be Lafreniere for Horvat, but maybe they want a player like Horvat and they take their chances on re-signing him, or maybe they're fine just simply getting Horvat as a rental, for example, if it is indeed Horvat. But maybe the Rangers think they have already enough young players in their system, and maybe Lafreniere, again, this is all speculation, maybe Lafreniere isn't happy there or doesn't see a path for progression with the Rangers. I think it'd be crazy if he wants to leave New York for Vancouver, but it's up to him. As much as I love Vancouver, and I'm not just talking about the cities, I'm talking about the actual direction of the team and how the teams are doing. So that is going to be something to really, really look at over the next little bit, to keep our eye on, as the trade deadline is now only 2 months away. I think March 3rd is the trade deadline. And then when you look at the 2020 draft, Lafreniere actually has the 3rd highest points of all players drafted that year. Tim Stützle, 3rd overall, far and away, is the best player points-wise from that draft. Already has 120 points in 3 seasons. And then Lucas Raymond has, the forward from Detroit, has 79 points. And then Lafreniere has 69 points in those 3 games. And then behind them is Dawson Mercer, who has 63 points. So the 3rd leading scorer from the 2020 draft. I know you don't look at points, but it's not like he's been a bust or anything like that. So this story kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Maybe not so much that he was a healthy scratch, but we'll see what happens going forward. It's something to track for sure, as Canucks fans. We'll all be interested in this story. So there we go. Canucks fans, let me know what you think of the lines, but more importantly, let me know if you'd be happy to get Alexi Lafreniere on this team. And what? Let's be realistic. What do you think it would take to give? What would we have to give up to get a player like that? Is it a straight Horvat for Lafreniere 1-for-1? Do we have to throw in more, given that Horvat will likely be a rental? Or maybe do the Rangers have to throw in more, given Lafreniere is not exactly proven? So it's so tough to say in these type of deals, and I'm not the master trade maker, so I'd love to hear your trade proposals for Lafreniere if that's indeed a player that you would love the Canucks to acquire. So let me know in the comments below. And as always, as we start out the new year, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members, and thanks to all of you for your support. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member, upgrade your membership, or leave a donation if you'd like to, and join me tonight for sure for Canucks After Dark on my own show then at 11 p.m. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.